My name's Josh Jones. I'm currently the director of admissions here at Florida College. So, working with all the incoming students, prospects, anyone who applies to the school, we handle their files and get them here. So it's a pretty
Cool.
cool job. Yeah.
So, when did you start working for FC, and what was your reason for taking the job?
Yeah, I started working for Florida College in 2022, which is right after I graduated. So I finished my bachelor's degree here and immediately took the job here at Florida College. There's an admissions counselor position opened up. So I applied and got the job. Really, I was looking for kind of my whole going through the business program at Florida College. I'd just been impressed with how much people matter and in any type of business, like people are your biggest asset. And so what I was really looking for is a place where people were valued and where I could work with people. And admissions, the world of admissions and higher education is all about people. And admissions, depending on where you go, people are either a number or they're a name. And at Florida College, everyone's a name. And so that relationship aspect of the job really stood out to me and was like, man, I could do that. And I get to travel and I get to meet Christians all over the United States. I was like, that's a pretty cool job to start. You learn a lot of skills doing admissions work. So
Yeah,
that's kind of why I decided to do that.
cool.
Yeah.
And then, talking about incoming students and stuff, what are the strategies that you use to assess a student's potential beyond just like standardized tests, GPA? How do you process that?
Yeah, great question. Because Florida College is about the whole person, and so we want to know when you're coming into Florida College, are you going to be academically successful? That's why we do this, the transcripts and the standardized test. We don't want you to invite you here and have you pay money, and then you're not successful in college. So we look at those things, but also we're looking at things like, are you passionate about the type of place that Florida College is? This is a very mission focused environment, and the students buy into that culture of mission. And so, one of the things that you'll see in the application is like signing the code of conduct and um, showing us that this is the type of place that you want to be a part of. And that's not to keep anyone out; it's to allow people to know exactly who we are and see if you want to be a part of that. And so, it's actually a really cool conversation that we have with applicants, like explaining what this school is and how it functions and the mission that it professes, and seeing if people want to be a part of that. So really looking for like, is this the type of place that you want to be, and what kind of things are you involved in? So specifically, when we look at scholarships, who to give scholarships to, we're looking at your involvement, what types of things that you're passionate about, and will you put those things to good use? So that's some of the things that we look for in the admissions world.
Yeah. This isn't one of the big questions, but
Yeah.
I know for myself, I didn't really know what I was looking for.
Yeah.
And I still came.
Yeah.
What would you say to those people? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure that you get those every now and then.
Yeah.
What are those kinds of conversations like?
Yeah, we're actually seeing that more and more. People don't know what they want to do, don't even know what they're looking for. The question that I always ask, specifically young people coming out of high school, is like, what are your goals in life? Like, just simplify it to that. Like, what do you want to accomplish in the next 5 to 10 years? And that seems like a simple question, but it's actually a really profound question when you hear people's answers. So most people, specifically the ones who are coming to Florida College, are like, well, I want to be spiritually strong and have a family that's spiritually strong. I want to work in this type of industry, not necessarily like what degree, but like what industry do I want to work in, or what are the things that I'm passionate about? Like, I want to work a job where I'm helping people every day. Or some people are like, I want to work a job where I can work in systems and processes. So asking people what their goals are usually leads to a good conversation about like, you know, what type of environment do you want to be in, and that helps them make their decision. Because I think a lot of people are under the misconception that like you have to know, specifically when you pick a degree, like I have to pick this exact degree so I can do this exact job. That's not really the way it works. You could study business and then you can go and work in a communications type field. It's like, it's not so rigid for most things.
Yeah.
So helping people see what their goals are usually leads to a more relaxed conversation about those next steps.
Sure.
Yeah.
So What has been something that surprised you about the work that you do here?
Yeah. Um, Something that's, I guess, surprised me about just this work is how much people um, really just want to talk to someone and be comfortable with someone and feel like that you have their back. Um, it, it, there's a debate in higher education whether admissions counseling should be treated as a sales job or not, because at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, like, we have a product and we're trying to ask people, do you want to be a part of this product, which is higher education or college environment or Florida college. And so, people go back and forth of like, should you stick to a script and try and make as many calls? But really, like, at the end of the day, I've been just so surprised with how much, like, when you just pick up the phone and ask people those simple questions, like, where are you from? What do you want to do? Kind of the goals that we were talking about earlier. Like, you get really to the heart of who people are and what they want. And you build really good relationships with people. Like, some of the best relationships that I've ever had have come from people that I've worked with, just simply about helping them get to college, and you build a really cool relationship out of that. So I didn't necessarily expect that. Like, I expected to have good relationships with people because of the nature of the job, but I didn't expect to like get as deep as I do with people and have them understand me just as much as I understand them, which is
Yeah.
really cool and refreshing, and it keeps you going in this job. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, speaking of connections, you
yeah,
you do work with the camp friends,
yes.
the FC
Mhm.
camp friends. Can you describe your approach to training and supervising them throughout the year and
Yeah.
through the summer as they're going to their camps?
Yeah. The Camp Friends Teams program is probably one of the most unique job applications that anyone goes through. I mean, you do the audition, you have some like one-on-one interview style interviews, but it's all different types of things that go through the process. And that process is really enjoyable because you see people's passion for the school come out, and you see some pretty unique talents in individuals that they bring out and showcase to the team. So when we're going through that process, we're really building it so that it's a way for everyone to show all different sides of them. One of the common misconceptions about Camp Friends is we're only looking for like energetic, extroverted people, when in reality, like, if we were only trying to recruit extroverted, energetic people to Florida College, we'd only need extroverted, energetic people. But really, we're looking for people who can appeal to all different types of people, and so we look for that throughout the audition process. And then once we get through the audition process and we build the teams, that's one of my favorite parts because I love team dynamics. I love seeing people come together, contribute their individual talents for the betterment of their team and for the betterment of the goal they're trying to accomplish. I say this all the time, like, teams are always more impactful than individuals any day of the week. That's something we drill into everyone's head when they're going through the process of becoming part of a Camp Friends team. Um, and that's really where the excitement comes out, because you see people take what they have to give and give it to others, and then that explodes into way more. Like, it's a job of service. So seeing that, how individuals give so much to this program, and then seeing that the impact that the Lord provides through that is just a really, really special thing. So that's one of my favorite parts about supervising and training them. And then it's also cool to see them go out in the summer and they come back with 1,000, like literally 1,000 different people that they've met.
Yeah.
So they get to see like the impact that Florida College has on your life after, and the impact that they as an individual can make, which is what this school is all about. We're supposed to serve God and others, and they get to see how they can do that. So it's cool to see them come back from the road and their eyes are open to like what is truly special about Florida College, but more than that, what's so cool about the kingdom of God. So,
Yeah. And you mentioned that you have a favorite part of working with camp friends. How about
yeah.
just in general working here? What is one of your favorite things?
Yeah. It's amazing to be in a place where you can start your staff meetings with a prayer, where you know what's going on in people's lives personally, what they're dealing with. It's amazing to go to chapel every day. Like, there's a built-in, people have built-in coffee breaks anywhere you work, but like here we have built-in chapel break. Like, we all walk over and worship with the student body. That in and of itself is so simple yet so powerful. Like students experience a college environment where God is the center of everything they do, and working at Florida College, you you see God at the center of your professional life, and that is an amazing thing to be a part of. It shapes the work you do, it shapes the environment you live in, and it shapes the relationships you build at work. And so even when you disagree with someone at work, or you're trying to get through a problem, at the end of the day, it's so easy to remember we're all Christians and we're all getting through this together and doing our jobs for the betterment of others. So that's a really unique part about being at a place like this, where everyone knows each other, everyone cares, because we're all trying to get to the same place, which is heaven.
Yeah.
So
Well, that is all the questions I have. So thank you for your time.
yeah, thanks for doing this. This is a good time.